don't get down to business in most instances right away. You have to establish some rapport. Now it depends on where you're at and who you're with, but you must kind of spend some time either with a sincere compliment, asking them some questions about something in their life, but you chit-chat and try your best at feeling a feeling of rapport. Now this is even if you already know them. It's also if you've been with them before, but we always come back to that first fundamental. Let's create some rapport. Now after that is when we do this process of getting down to business. And as you mentioned, it's one of my favorite things to teach because it's what you have to do if you're going to close lots of sales. And there are steps to it. Now, step number one, you need to create and learn what we call an introductory get down to business statement. Now, I'm going to share mine with you. And it's just like if I were sitting across the table from you right now, and we were in a presentation situation. After a little rapport, as I mentioned, I would just simply say this statement to you. John, let me begin by just thanking you for the time that we're going to share. See, I totally believe that if you start with a thank you for the time you're sharing, it's a real nice way of starting the good feelings after building a little rapport. Then I would say this sentence, I hope we can consider this meeting somewhat exploratory. Now the reason I like those two words, somewhat exploratory, what you're really saying is, I'm not selling you anything, we're going to explore together. It's designed to relax them. It's designed to kind of say, let's not talk about purchasing anything yet, to again get the defense barriers to come down, okay? Then you would say this, meaning my job tonight as a professional, and then you'd mention your industry or your company, a professional with XYZ company, or a professional in the heating and air conditioning industry. You would mention your industry or your company, and you would say, as a professional, okay, is to show you, here's the thing you're going to say then, is to show you our dynamic company, and use that term, our dynamic company, and how we are helping many consumers in this area enjoy the benefits of our product or service. Second thing I want you to do is try to create a consultative feeling at the table. Now the way you can do this is have a pad or some type of paper that you're going to make notes. You see, a consultant makes notes. I want you to have a feeling with them that you're going to make some notes of what they're saying. Well, this does one thing. It gets them used to your writing, which you're going to have to do. Most of you have a written closing situation. Some of you I know do it verbally only. But for you that have any type of paperwork, you want to create the consultative feeling by using some legal pad or something to where they see you making notes. Again, get them used to writing, because you're going to have to move smoothly into closing, which you will then, of course, be writing. Now, I like this little sentence. I want to say this to you. I'd say this if I were at the table with you. You know, John, over the years, I found it very beneficial to make notes during conversations so I can do a better job of serving people, of helping people. So I hope you won't be offended if while we talk, I just make a few notes. And I would have the blank pad. Don't have any printed form here. That'll scare them. Show them it's a nice blank pad. The next thing we're going to work on, because right now there can be some fear coming about, the next step will be calm their natural fears and reduce sales resistance. And of course that is done kind of like like you're them. You know, John, when I'm not working, I'm a consumer just like you. What I hope for when I'm considering purchasing anything is to find someone who's knowledgeable someone who really will help me, that wants to serve me, not just sell me, which I know we're all nervous about. So please, I want to ask you some questions, and I hope you'll feel free to not only answer, but also if any questions arise in your mind, I hope that you'll just let me know. Because the best way to serve someone is to really understand them, and understanding comes from listening. So please, share with me any challenges that you feel you might have, or anything you want to elaborate on, okay? The fourth thing, as Wally alluded to earlier, you use a thing we call the intent statement. Now, it's a statement designed to introduce the agenda for your meeting. And I think it's important that you realize most of you, not all of you, but most of you, when you start with a potential client, a buyer, you need to let them know what's going to happen. And that's what's called the agenda. I used to sit down and say, now what I'd like to do is tell you what we're going to do this evening. I'm going to tell you about our company. I'm then going to ask you some questions as to what your needs are. I'm then going to show you the different options that we have. And then, of course, we'll cover the financial aspects to make sure that not only you're comfortable, but you see the tremendous value that you will be receiving.